I need to let individuals know that this is a privilege. We have pegged our dollar, is pegged to the US dollar, at 2.7 from since 1976. We're asking each of the new citizens to come home.
This immediately be present by CA Studio.
Welcome to Global Visa Flagship Interview Series, Meeting the Officials. And I'm Laura, I'm your host today. Today, we are honored to host a truly distinguished guest. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Chairman of the Citizenship and Investment Unit Board of St. Kitts and Nevis. Hello, Mr. Chairman. Please say hi to our audience.
Absolutely. First off, let me extend an appreciation for having me here. I am the Executive Chairman of the St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment. My role predominantly is to really make sure that we have a oversight and set the strategic direction of the St. Kitts and Nevis Citizenship by Investment program, which actually was the first program that developed that actually has been in existence for over 40 plus years. We were the ones who actually created the investment migration industry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, as well. Under your leadership, we have seen a dramatic increase in application for St. Kitts and Nevis CBI program, a massive 169% increase last year. This success just about all your leadership, I think. It also reflects major policy change in the CIU has made. So we would like to have a deep understanding in this aspect. So my first question is, let's talk about the policy details. St. Kitts is the original Caribbean CBI program with a 41 years history, so longest history around the 5 countries.
Yes.
Setting the standard that others follow. Historical, some larger families need to include elite siblings have had to choose their Caribbean citizenship by St. Kitts rules didn't cover siblings. Mr. Chairman, can you tell us, will St. Kitts and Nevis considering modifying this requirement to including siblings in the future?
So let me first off share, we're always looking at ways to enhance our program. As you mentioned, we have been in this business for 41 plus years, and we consider our program family oriented. But as we look at the various entry points, it is important for us to have a balance. First, making sure we have the right applicants to be part of our citizenship. And so every individual goes through a very strong and rigorous vetting process, multi-layer, to ensure that they do not create a risk to our program. For us, we look at different options that exist in our programs. And as you mentioned, we are family oriented. We have our sustainable island state contribution, and that allows for up to a family of 4 and starts at the US $250,000. We have recently increased the age limit for children up to, initially it was up to 20, it was 25, and we've increased that now to 30 because we realize it is important, and we looked at across the market and we wanted to make sure that we demonstrate to the international arena that St. Kitts and Nevis CBI program is an inclusive one for family members, and we didn't wish to have one where family members are torn apart. And so we increased the age limit up to 30. And the reason we did that is that, again, in certain jurisdictions, we realize that in times they're still being dependent, they're the children, and age does not define one, meaning that your economic situation, and sometimes what we're seeing is that individuals are dependent. So we're continuously seeing if we will consider those from a sibling perspective. We know dependents are important, and so we're looking to see how best we can increase those type of applicants who really need it. So I think that's the way we would look at it. We've just changed this, and we're going to look to make that determination.
Good news we are looking for.
Yes.
So my next question is, you have visited so many countries since you took office, right? Including China, and St. Kitts market has gradually warmed up under your influence. So may I ask, what is your next travel plan?
Well, the way I answer this is that we pride ourselves in meeting our investors and meeting the applicants and our partners where they are. And so St. Kitts and Nevis is a very tiny Western Hemisphere country.
It's very famous.
It's exactly. But not everyone has heard of St. Kitts and Nevis. And maybe you may have heard of St. Kitts and Nevis. But when you have the representative for this program physically there, it makes a difference. It builds trust, it builds confidence, it gives you that level of assurance. As you mentioned, most recently I've done a number of tours in terms of meeting investors, but that is for me to demonstrate our commitment to building the confidence, our commitment to what this program is about. Our program is about citizenship, and citizenship is lifetime, it's generation to generations. And when someone is making a decision, it is a personal decision, and we want to make sure that that decision is made with comfort, that decision is made with trust, but most importantly for us, that it's the right candidate. And I keep referring to that we don't simply accept everyone who applies to our program. Every single applicant goes through a very multi-layered due diligence. We have the strongest due diligence in this industry. Each applicant is then vetted through the international agencies, whether it's the Interpol, whether it's the UN sanction list or the EU sanction list. And then furthermore, we also verify this source of income to make sure that we abide by our international partners' law. I share that because when I visit these countries, whether it's Asia, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's the African continent, Southeast Asia, where we are here now in Singapore, I need to let individuals know that this is a privilege, and we only allow those individuals in our program, when I visit these countries, that people can trust they made the right decision.
And I have heard your panel just this afternoon.
Yes.
You are encouraging people to visit St. Kitts before they take this CBI program. They could know better about St. Kitts. So my next question is about the residence requirement. This very hot topic in the China market. We all know that several Caribbean countries will soon introduce residence requirements. When do you just anticipate St. Kitts and Nevis will implement this residence requirement? And do you think the number of the applicants for St. Kitts and Nevis CBI will decrease, or if the residence requirement is introduced?
That's a very good question. And first off, let me just explain. We've been focused in this business for 41 years. It becomes very difficult, not just to us who grant citizenship, but even to our international partners. And so with the advent of the residency requirement, it's really to create that genuine link. And it's important for us because we do not see our CBI program as a transactional one. We see our program as a continuation. It's a lifetime decision. And so when someone wishes to be a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, we want them to be an ambassador. You're a citizen, you're not a visitor. And so you need to understand the culture. When our applicants travel internationally, they can feel confident if someone asks, is he a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis? Tell them a little bit about it. We're asking each of the new citizens to come home, and not to visit, come home.
To be the host.
And we're simply saying we want to make sure it's not a burdensome on them. We're just simply saying over 5 years, come to the country at least once a week, and you have 5 years. You have to make an accumulation of 30 days to actually meet the requirements of residency. So we don't see that being a burdensome on them. Actually, what we heard is that applicants have been telling the agents that we want to go. And so we are seeing that the right applicants are actually happy that we have introduced a residency requirement. And so the residency requirement is going to be in effect, as with all Caribbean countries. We have recently enshrined the regional regulator, and that took place last week. So we tabled that into our laws. We're hoping to at least get that by end of the year. That is our commitment.
I know, fully understand that. So until the end of the year, we have the client can still apply the CBI program just under this policy. So my next question is, if the guys miss this period, do they have any extended period to apply for St. Kitts and Nevis?
Yeah, so let me explain, because I think there's a misconception. When we introduce the residency, there's going to be a time, what we call a cooling off time, that the regional regulators have indicated. Makes sense because we understand it's going to be an adjustment. It's not goes by law on Friday and then goes in effect on Monday. We are going to say it will take place over in the next 90 days or perhaps in the next 5 months because we want to be confident. We are aware that the type of investors is going to be very busy. They're business people. They're always traveling. They have to adjust their schedule. So we're not going to make it where it's disruptive for them. But we want to make sure it happens. We will, at the appropriate time, define what that looks like so that everyone can appropriately manage when they will be coming to them.
Manage their plan to visit St. Kitts and Nevis.
Absolutely.
Give the chosen right to the clients, right?
Yeah.
My next question is, I have read your interview before. You mentioned that St. Kitts and Nevis may launch a high-end VIP program later, and you just mentioned yesterday to me that, right? May I ask when this program is expected to be launched, and just tell me some information about it.
The program, which is called the Priority One Concierge VIP program, we've actually soft launched it, so it's already launched. We soft launch it to get an understanding of how our investors will appreciate it. And let me just give a little explanation. The Priority One program is going to be a membership. One will have to apply to be part of this exclusive 1%. What we've heard is very high net worth individuals want that personalized touch. And they want efficiency because it covers everything. You will get efficient processing. You're also going to get curated financials. It's also going to support the residency requirement. We will support with getting their driver's license, getting their tax ID, giving them access to the financial services. So it's more than just that. And we're going to dedicate personalized resources. So it's a very new way of how CBI is being done, but it's for us, it's our genuine link, but only to the exclusive 1%.
This is certainly exciting, especially for that high net worth people. Yes, it's a very efficient way.
Yes.
To complete the CBI program. Yeah.
Efficient in processing, efficient in getting access. We've heard a number of individuals who became citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, and then they said, "Listen, I need to know how to open a bank account. I don't know what access I have." Many people have no idea that St. Kitts and Nevis, we have one of the most stable democratic society there. We have pegged our dollar, is pegged to the US dollar at 2.7 from since 1976.
Yes,
and so that creates a stability. And they were shocked. Our trust in Nevis, our sister island Nevis, and we have curated a number of partnerships with banks in Switzerland, banks in the Middle East, and obviously banks in St. Kitts and Nevis, to ensure that those 1% truly get a personalized and curated experience under the Priority One model.
Looking forward that again, I will say the word again, because really an exciting plan.
Yes.
Yes. So, do you think St. Kitts and Nevis CBI program will add some country visa free?
There's always diplomatic conversation happening. But for us, it is deepening those relationships that we have now with the US, with the EU, and with the UK, because that's critical, especially for this program.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that we deepen those partnerships with our existing partners. And yes, we know there are other international countries that have shared their interests with us. We'll continue to have diplomatic engagement, positive enough, and at the right appropriate time, and that needs to be disclosed.
Okay. So many people choose the CBI program just for traveling. So the more visa-free country, the better.
Mobility is key, and mobility is the ease of travel. That's the most important.
Okay. So finally, the last question.
Sure.
Yes, for anyone who is unfamiliar with St. Kitts and Nevis and considering visiting or just more than, so can you share something with us about the nation? For example, its culture and education.
Who we are, a small country in the Western Hemisphere. As I said, we have a democratic country. Our political system has been stable and continues to be stable. As I said, we've been in this business for 40 years and we've had many governments, and you see it's still stable. So stability is important. The other thing is what people may not be aware of is our sister island, Nevis. We produce famous individuals. For example, Alexander Hamilton, who was the founding father, one of the founding fathers of the United States. He was born in. So that's why we have such a, people may not be aware of that.
Remember this.
They may not be aware of that. In St. Kitts and Nevis, we have, the aspect of deep-rooted culture. We have a scenic line that goes through the entire country. So individuals, when they come, they can see possible opportunities. Yesterday I spoke with someone who said they took the scenic railroad, and because of that, they now see the entire country and open up potential investment opportunities. So much stuff I can talk about what St. Kitts and Nevis offer. Our beaches, climate, we have the reading that takes place. So protect environment, that's critical. I can say all of that, but I always welcome individuals to come and visit St. Kitts and Nevis and see what we have to offer. There's a lot of history that we have that people may not be aware of. We have one of the best education for vet, a very international vet school that we get students from all over the world, the United States, Asia, Middle East, come to our country to study. And we have other educational system that supports individuals who obviously enhance their continued growth in life. So yes, St. Kitts and Nevis has a lot to offer. And so I always encourage individuals when they get an opportunity to come and visit and learn about what St. Kitts and Nevis has. And for those who are looking to become citizens, we look forward for you to coming home.
Thank you very much. Yes, nothing then just visit St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for your sharing today.
Thank you for having me.
Be officials. We speak with leaders whose calls are crucial. Make the world your home somehow. Let's be a global citizen now.